Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the first episode of Cinema Times.
Yeah.
My name is John Paul Betancourt, but you guys can call me JP. And I got some two other friends around here.
Hey everybody, I guess you can say I'm a little bit of the brains behind this. And my name is Cristian Cruz. You can just call me the Cruz Man. And this is a team of friends that have been friends for a long time. And we're just hoping everybody will start listening to us more often and go from there. I'll introduce you to the other guy.
We're going to put him on cruise control.
Yep.
Hi, everyone. Richard Schwartz here, but you guys can call me RJ. Much easier. I love movies. So what can I say?
Yeah.
It's absolutely my passion. Love going to see movies. At some point, I want to create them, and now I get to talk about them. So that's awesome.
Yeah, we're a group of people here who just loves movies. We love pop culture. We're very geeky, and we just like a lot of things in general. So hopefully, throughout these next few episodes, we'll talk more about movies, maybe other stuff, and we'll see where this thing goes. But so today, or for this first episode, we're going to start reviewing for Ghostbusters Afterlife. All three of us just watched this movie, actually.
In Dolby.
Yep,
Oh,
in
yeah.
Dolby. Very, very good.
Highly recommended in that format.
Oh yeah. So this is gonna start. We're gonna start with a non-spoiler discussion, and later on we're gonna go through a spoiler discussion. But right now, we're gonna start giving out some of our reviews and how we thought of the movie. For me, I liked the movie. The movie was actually freaking amazing. Actually,
It was very nostalgic.
Mm-hmm.
I disagreed with the critics on this one. I thought it was fantastic.
Oh,
From
yeah.
start to finish. I
Yeah.
was captivated all the way through.
Yeah, on what is called on Rotten Tomatoes gave it like a 66% for some reason.
Yeah.
In fact, actually, before like maybe a week before, it was up to like 75, but then it dropped down. I don't know what they were
I have
thinking.
no
See,
idea.
that's
it's like
one
at a
thing
60 something
we-
now?
60
It's
something,
so
something
stupid.
around.
That's one thing we want to make clear about us. We are the type that, we don't rely on, half the time with critics or Rotten Tomatoes or any website like that.
Mhm.
Because what they just said is true, and that's the way it's been. So the whole point of us is, telling you how good a movie is or maybe how bad it is. It doesn't matter. We choose to watch it and give it our opinion.
Personally, sometimes I get more excited when the critics review a movie badly because it
Bingo!
it means that
Yeah,
I
exactly.
can enter the movie with zero expectations, and I can just leave without having to expect anything, and I can go clearly open-minded with
Right.
it.
Mhm.
This one I was going open-minded regardless. Like I didn't care what the
yes.
critics thought. I grew up with Ghostbusters.
Oh,
Okay, we can all say we're 90s kids.
Yeah, we're all 90s kids here, so yeah, we all grew up with the Ghostbusters films.
Yeah, like,
one,
All
two,
three of us almost 30.
pretty much around there. But yeah, I
Heck,
mean,
my man JP's got them on his shirt right now.
yeah, I'm wearing the Ghostbusters memorabilia right here from. Yeah, we got the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. I got the shirt.
Ironically, Stranger Things too.
Right,
Yeah,
the
so,
irony.
the irony of this, but yeah,
Just gotta point that out there.
One of the
That's kinda
cast
cool.
members is from Stranger Things.
obviously, yeah, Finn Wolfhard.
Yeah.
So yeah, he was pretty good in that movie too.
Yeah, he was.
Honestly, he started off a little bit awkward, but it fit with the character. I dug it. Like,
Yes.
after he gave it a little bit of a chance to grow more and more, I was with it. But
Let's just say,
it took me a second to be on pace with
They
that
get comfortable
character.
with
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
because he did a good job reintroducing the Ghostbusters car.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's,
Oh yeah.
When you watch the movie, you see the connection
Oh, man.
that he had with that car, and he drives it like no tomorrow.
Oh yes, yeah. So it's not much of a spoiler. It's in the trailers.
Yeah. Yes.
That's
Yeah.
in the trailers.
Yeah,
That's him driving.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so yeah,
The
just
badass
so you
that
know,
he is in
yeah.
that car.
They definitely. There's a lot of good connections in this
Yeah.
movie.
Yes.
The cast is amazing.
Oh, such a great cast.
yeah,
man.
such
Very.
a great
Such a great
yeah.
cast.
Mm-hmm.
The girl, the lead female,
Mm-hmm.
the new female lead of Ghostbusters, she, for a young actress, she really has acting chops.
Mhm.
And she was meant to be that character that she plays in the Ghostbusters movie. And she was a very strong character to be the daughter of one of the main original Ghostbusters from the past.
Oh yeah. So yeah, with it's definitely not a spoiler. It's in the trailers and everything. But yeah, she's obviously the daughter of I forgot the one with the glasses. I forgot his name, but but
Yeah,
he's
blanking.
Harold Ramis, the actor.
Yes.
Yeah.
But the movie is she's definitely like very much the Harold Ramis character in this movie, and she does a fantastic job. She basically just carried this movie throughout from start to finish, and
She did.
you did.
She honestly did.
Oh yeah.
Carrie Coon.
Carrie
Yes.
Coon, that's her name.
The mom in the movie. Yeah. She, oh my god.
Oh yeah, the mom too was interesting.
Oh yeah.
The mom was interesting. I love that they had Paul Rudd in there because
Paul Rudd was a perfect touch.
Paul Rudd was like he played himself and it was
He
it
really
was-
did.
It was
Basically,
perfect.
yeah.
It was
fit.
just Paul Rudd.
Yeah, it was
Like,
Paul Rudd
I
once
feel
again.
like their instructions to him were literally be yourself,
Be yourself.
Do yourself.
but a
Yeah.
little bit smarter.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
just smarter.
Yeah, just pretend at least you have like a PhD.
Yeah,
in
exactly.
design.
It doesn't matter what PhD you have. You have a PhD.
Pretend that you know things when it comes to radiology.
Yes, and that's
you
it.
are a radiologist with the personality of Paul Rudd.
Practically just Paul Rudd.
And just run with it. I feel like that was probably what they gave him. But like regardless of how it happened, it just worked. Like the chemistry between the characters, I never questioned it for a second. It just it felt natural. It felt like it was actually there, which I appreciate a lot because you get movies a lot of these times where forced chemistries don't.
It doesn't.
They
really
don't
work.
click. Like the brother sister bit, like you can't. It's not believable. They
No.
even gave her. I'm blanking on her name. McKenna Grace. The daughter.
Yeah, the daughter. Yeah.
They even gave her a hairstyle to fit with Finn Wolfhard.
Oh
So
yeah.
it, like I don't know if you guys noticed that. Like stuff like small things like that. Like I love. That.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, of
definitely.
course.
Both of them, at least you can tell that the mother is related to the son because
Exactly.
To the son,
not just
yeah.
with the hairstyle,
Yeah.
but also
Yeah.
how they're also the witty banter to go against
Yes.
each other and with other people.
Exactly.
Of course.
Exactly.
So, yeah, you
like
actually
they had
bel-
this sibling bickering. And
Exactly.
everything.
You actually believe that these are a family. Actually.
Yeah.
And they all had the right amount of time in the movie for character development. They all had their own little introductions. And don't get me started with one main character that was hilarious. And he goes under broadcast.
Okay.
Another member of Ghostbusters. And he is super hilarious.
We'll keep that secret for the spoiler
yeah.
part of the review.
Mm-hmm.
But oh man, they really did a great job of adding nostalgia into this
Yes.
and just making it. You know, with Ghostbusters 2016,
The female Ghostbusters.
they really tried to fix what they did with that. It was like almost like they realized, okay, we can't do to the fans what that movie did. We got to fix this.
Oh,
and
yes.
it was like, it really truly felt like they geared this movie specifically for the fans.
Oh yeah,
Literally.
for the fans.
Because it was nostalgia, and you felt this like heartwarming feeling of this precious masterpiece of a movie, because they really did a very emotional send-off to our actor that died. That was one of the original members of Ghostbusters.
Harold Ramis. Yeah,
And
very much.
it was a beautiful send-off for Mr. Ramis.
Oh yeah, it definitely was. This entire movie is basically like a huge tribute to Harold Ramis.
Yes.
More to the character from Ghostbusters, but more so to the actor and director and producer Harold Ramis, who did a lot of movies in the '80s, especially with Bill Murray and Dan Aykroyd. Stripes is one of my favorite movies that he was in. This movie is definitely a love letter tribute to Harold Ramis. So
Literally was.
if you're a huge fan of anything from the 80s, but Harold Ramis more in general, and Ghostbusters, then you will definitely going to have like a very emotional, teary-eyed feeling watching this film.
100%.
Mm-hmm.
And that goes along with the nostalgia, and it goes along with the fact that as much as the nostalgia is good, you also can't have too much of it, because in the end, the movie still stood on its own legs, because it was its own thing the whole time. Its own story, its own plot, and then these new characters that were coming in, introduced to the audience, was beautiful, because we actually have a nice new modern team of Ghostbusters now.
Yep.
Oh yeah. So
They can go in so many directions with this now. Like if they chose to, which I think they might. I'm not gonna, like I said, no spoilers with this right now. So I won't get into why I think they will, but I have a good feeling like if this one makes enough money, they'll continue going forward with this. His son is doing a phenomenal job with
Jason
directing.
Reitman.
Yeah, Jason Reitman. If I remember correctly, I know he did Juno. I know he did Tully. I think he also did. Was he the director of the Night of the Museum series as well?
I don't think so. I
Or
do
was that a
remember.
different guy?
Maybe he
Was
produced
that a
it.
different guy?
Maybe it was a different guy. Yeah, but
I'm
I do
like-
remember he did. Thank you for smoking, or thank you for not smoking,
Yeah.
or something like that.
Yeah, I gotta look on that one.
Oh yeah.
Oh my goodness, this movie, guys! If you are fans of Ghostbusters, like rush to the theaters and see this movie.
definitely.
Like,
Yes.
you're gonna have such a good time. They picked up a lot of what the first one was doing, where it had comedic moments and jump scares. And honestly,
This movie was had a little bit more depth and drama than the first
Depth,
movie.
Exactly.
The first movie was definitely a comedy, but
because you have the cast of SNL at the time,
very
that
good
were
cast of
literally
SNL.
like
within a plot of ghostbusting.
Yeah.
This one is definitely like yes, it's funny, but it definitely has like a little bit more dramatic chops to it, just to weigh into of all the stuff that's been going on for the past 30 years. But it's definitely not a spoiler, but this movie definitely works well of continuing the villain that was in the first movie, Gozer. And it does it in a way that it actually connects with the first movie and figure out what happened in that movie and what will happen like 30 years later, and then continue with that same villain, Gozer. Instead of just throwing in a villain just for the next I don't know, just for another.
It made its own history.
I like that
there was more.
They made it make sense. They made it connect into the original one, and they made it in a way that it would make sense to do so, rather than like with the. I didn't really see the 2016, but I know they just threw a new villain in there.
The 2016 version is bad. My villain wise, it was just bad in my opinion. It could have worked. It could have worked. I mean, I felt like the villain could have worked, just like with Ghostbusters 2. Both of those villains were interesting, and it could have worked. But for some reason, they didn't put in too much story or plot to go with those villains. No. The Gozer is the only villain within the Ghostbusters universe that actually works and has some sort of like lore and depth against with the Ghost core team and with the entire Ghost franchise ever.
Yeah, because in the back Ghostbusters movie, it was just literally comedy. Plot, story, no, none of that. And we want to make it clear, we're not the types to be sexist. This wasn't because they're all females. No. This was because this was literally a movie just to be made, just for being made. That there was no interest, there was no mystery in it, and in the end of it, any Ghostbusters fan can tell you, or any regular movie fan can tell you, the movie was just disrespectful to what Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
A little bit on the side note for 2016, I felt like 2016 should have been had a little bit more darker edge, just like the first one. Yeah. So at least maybe you could connect. But 2016 version was like very much just a bland out comedy. Yes, the first one was also a comedy, but they actually put in some story and actually
there was balance,
lore and action, so it can balance that whole thing out. Ghostbusters 2 is a whole other drama that we'll may talk about maybe here or next episode or whatever. But but this movie Afterlife definitely is a worthy sequel to Ghostbusters 1 and 2. More so to the first one. Yeah. The second one, they barely talked about it. I don't think they talked about the second one.
I think we can all agree it's not that Ghostbusters 2 is the worst movie we've ever seen.
I liked it. I always do.
I'll be honest. Yeah.
It's not in the same... Like, it's not on that same level as Ghostbusters 1.
No, because here's what I think. I think later on they can decide if they wanted to or not.
Yeah.
So, for now, I think we can just say a few more words with no spoilers, and we're about to go on the last segment of with spoilers.
So we'll give a quick review, I think, of the movie, and then we'll go to the spoiler talk.
One final note before we start the review. I do think that if you are looking for like big laughs like the first movie, you will probably gonna have some few laughs in it. This movie is more like, it balances more with comedy and drama other than the full comedy and full action as the first one did. So if you're expecting like a full blown like straight up 100% comedy movie, you're probably not gonna get that just like in the first one. But you are gonna have a good balance of good story, good good drama, and good comedy with this movie, and it's definitely a great send off for the late Harold Ramis. So for my review, my stars, I give it 4 stars. That's for me.
So
4 out of 5.
So yeah, that's what I was gonna ask. So we're doing it out of 5 or do
Out of 5.
is that
And you're
what we
next.
wanna- Okay.
And then I'll go.
All
Okay,
right.
then. So 4 out of 5 with me.
4 to 5.
Mhm.
I would probably put it around the same level.
Mhm.
I usually rate movies like out of like 1 to 10, but if we're doing the 5 scale, yeah, but I think 4 out of 5 definitely suitable. That's around that 80 percentile. Yeah, I think it's right up there for sure.
Okay.
For me, the movie was like a coming of age, emotional, yet a very nice plot that unites a lot of characters that you just will fall in love, and also like how they respected everything that came before it. And in the
Yeah, they
end,
really keep with the lore. I love that.
exactly.
Yeah.
And so for me, and it's one thing you're all gonna notice about me, I almost give everything 5 stars these days. I'm giving this movie 5 stars.
Yeah. Expect Christian here to make do 5 stars every movie.
Yeah, I'm a 5-star whore.
We call Christian the 5-star man.
5-star Michelin man here.
Better than 5-star slut, but okay, I'll accept that.
All right then. So we're gonna go to spoiler discussion in 3, 2, 1.
All right.
Wait, let's give him a pause.
Oh, yeah.
Anybody going forward, if you do not want to hear spoilers about this movie, please click the X button and tune back in after you have seen the movie. Because going forward, you cannot blame us if you continue watching
in any way.
listening to this. In any way, this is not our fault.
No.
All right,
So
let's start.
starting
the spoiler
3,
talk
2,
now.
1.
No.
What the fuck? J.K. Simmons was in this movie?
Yes.
J.K. Simmons. He was in this movie for like 2 seconds.
Love that.
And let's just say he gets ripped apart like Mortal Kombat style, man.
He's in the movie for literally, like, you see him, okay, so he's in the movie for a decent amount of time, right? Because, like, he's in the coffin, but,
Yeah.
like,
I barely noticed that was him.
Nobody's
me
paying
either.
attention to, like, who's in the coffin.
No, because the
Right.
style of camera. Because they made sure that the camera was not zooming to his face
Well,
completely.
no.
He was in a glass coffin
Mm-hmm.
in a cave that's part of the plot that supposedly connects with the first movie.
Exactly.
And it's a tomb that supposedly is the gateway of the undead and beyond.
Yeah.
And then you got J.K. Simmons lying in this coffin with a sash, like he was the mayor of something many years ago, because
Yeah.
he started the town that takes place many years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So once he wakes up, the demons, ghosts, whatever, they all wake up. You got the main bad guy and the main villain, I mean, girl or dude, whatever you want to call it. And he's telling her that
so badass.
they want to rule the world together. And she just rips him in half,
Yeah, I
blood
guess.
and guts everywhere.
I guess he was the one who started the whole thing, I guess. Or
Kinda.
I guess he was the one who
He
started
was the one
town.
who began the Doomsday to, I guess, like, he was the initial follower.
Yeah,
He
was
was.
the initial follower.
But, like,
Yes.
so they put him in this glass coffin.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, as a moviegoer watching this movie, I'm just like, okay, dead dude in a coffin, nothing to think of. He's not coming back to life, he's dead.
Yeah.
You know?
He just
There's
winks
nothing
for like
to
a
it.
few moments.
He's got to be dead.
He winks for a few moments because the kids were able to figure out that the earthquakes were also referenced in the trailer.
Yeah.
Not just, they're not fucking earthquakes. They're fucking the Ghostbuster guns,
Yeah.
automated,
Yeah.
shooting the gates that's holding all the evil
Because her
inside.
grandpa
Yeah.
was smart enough to, as one of his final last things, to basically control the seismic activity that was going on.
Yeah, that was actually pretty good. The mystery aspect in this movie was actually very good. Like they actually like kept you like guessing like why did Harold Ramis' character, why did he disappear from everybody and why everybody just resents him so much. But now by the end you understand that he was actually just protecting everybody.
Yeah.
And I like that part of the movie.
Yeah.
And he wasn't just a genius. He had an agenda.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because in the beginning of the movie, it literally starts with a person driving a pickup truck getting chased by something powerful, and then clearly looking at the camera angle, you see who it is.
Yeah, it was very obvious that was actually him.
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude! Like
The beginning was probably my favorite part at first.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
it was honestly, I loved how they opened this movie up with him.
Yes.
They don't show you his face. They
don't show
just
you-
give you because like obviously he's dead, so they want to like whatever actor is portraying him, they want to have you believe that it's him the entire time.
Like I didn't mind him like maybe having
I
like a
was so
different
cool.
actor for
Yeah.
like maybe like if you like the opening scene like
Yeah.
you said
Yeah.
have Egon.
Yeah.
But to have somebody actually, because by the end of the movie he comes back,
Yeah.
but as a ghost. But they actually
Yeah.
have like
he
an
doesn't
actual-
say anything.
No.
He doesn't have any speaking
Oh
lines.
no, that
And
was
they
pretty
made it
good.
so
That
good
was
in the
good.
I
plot
understood. But
for him not to speak. It was perfect. They wrote it so well.
exactly. And like so you have a movie like this where he wasn't in the movie at all, like they did the CGI from scratch and put him in there. So I'm sure you guys remember Star Wars
Rogue One.
Rise of what was it? Rise of Skywalker? Yeah.
Yeah,
Rise
yeah.
of
The last one.
Skywalker.
Yeah.
How with what's her face? Why am I blanking on her name for Leia?
Leia.
Princess
Oh
Leia.
gosh.
I'm
Yeah, yeah,
blanking
yeah.
on the actress's name. Carrie Fisher.
Carrie
yeah.
Fisher.
So like with that, like the CGI in my opinion for that looked awful. When they were like putting her in the same room with the other people.
That was in Rogue One.
No. With she was dead for.
Oh,
Rise
you're
of
talking about
Skywalker.
like what the
So
Yeah,
when they
the
did
trilogy.
scenes, when
Yeah.
they did scenes with her in
Yeah.
the picture, they looked fake.
It's true.
With her
Well,
talking, it
those-
looked so weird because
Yeah.
like you could tell they were building the script around
Mm-hmm.
the scenes they filmed of her.
Yeah, they
And-
used deleted scenes from the.
There
first
you go.
one.
Yeah,
That's
they,
what
they
it was.
used
Just
deleted
wrap around
scenes
that,
of
yeah.
what was it?
It was the Force Awakens.
Not
So
a-
no, it was the second one.
Oh, yeah.
Why
The
can't
last
The Last Jedi? These movies were so forgettable in my
They
opinion.
are.
Oh, yeah, they were.
I hate that.
The effects were so bad, just like in Tron Legacy,
Yeah.
when they tried to bring back the father.
Yeah, it reminded. No,
That's
honestly,
what it was.
It reminded me with that.
Yeah.
This Ghostbusters Afterlife
Mhm.
blew it out of the water.
Yes,
Oh, no, they used
they
it
really
the
did.
technology they used
Mhm.
for it and the decision they made to not let him talk was perfect.
Oh, yeah,
It
because
was.
obviously they used like a stand-in for
Yeah.
this one.
Yeah.
And this is what I like about these movies these days, actually, because this isn't the first time I saw this. In Halloween Kills, they did the
Yes.
same thing with Donald Pleasant's
Yeah.
character.
Mr.
They
Loomis.
did, yeah, Mr. Loomis. They did not use CGI or any
Yep.
of that Disney bullshit.
But he
They
had
actually
speaking
had
lines,
yes,
and I
he
was
had
impressed
speaking
with
lines.
that.
Yeah, but he's very good.
An
Yeah, he was
actual
really
guy.
good.
They just made him look just
Yeah,
like
with all
Mr.
good
Loomis.
makeup, practical effects,
Yeah.
old
Yeah.
fashioned. And it worked so well.
It
They did the
worked
same thing.
amazingly.
They did the same thing with Harold Ramis. They got
Yeah.
a stand-in. They put like makeup and a little bit of CGI.
I
to
actually
make them...
arguably, I think it was even better done in Ghostbusters Afterlife. Like
Mhm.
it just like the
And he was a ghost.
Oh, yeah,
you could
obviously,
tell.
yeah.
You
Yeah.
could tell they were CGI obviously
Mhm.
because they have to make him look like a ghost.
Yeah.
But like the fact that he was a ghost made the CGI make sense. Like,
Makes
it wasn't
sense.
just like
Exactly.
we're CGIing
Exactly.
this person in.
Mhm.
Right.
Like obviously with the Harold
Harold
Ramis,
Ramis.
yeah,
Egon.
Egon,
Mhm.
yeah. So like obviously with the Halloween, like it's a bit of a different situation because he wasn't CGI; that was all makeup.
Mhm.
But like for this, you have a character that's CGI'd into the movie. It makes sense why he's CGI'd into the movie, and it looks realistic.
It did.
Yeah.
They went out of their
Three
way for
aspects.
detail.
Yeah,
Yeah.
three
Because-
aspects that were key to making.
When
it
he
work,
was a
they went out of
ghost,
their way to get it done.
He had like a blue aura type filter.
Yeah.
And
Oh, yeah.
they went beyond that. They weren't lazy about it.
No,
Even though he was
not
half
at all.
blue colored, no, they made sure you still see
Yeah.
his facial hair.
Oh,
The,
yeah.
when he was gray, the
Yeah.
glasses.
Made him older.
Even as a ghost, he still had his uniform on.
Oh,
Yeah, I
yeah.
mean, that was a perfect touch.
The
And-
one,
Go on.
Oh, I was going to say like the way like these like Halloween Kills and Ghostbusters Afterlife, the way they utilize how they get like standings for these dead actors now, it's different for each
Yeah,
each
like
genre.
the artistic style
Yeah,
is
but
completely
because in
different, for sure.
Halloween Kills, there was a scene in there where they show it was a flashback scene, so
Yes.
that was important to the plot.
Yeah.
But here in Afterlife, this movie was more like a love letter to and a send off for Harold Ramis because everybody respected him, and it was a good idea for him not to speak at all because we don't know what Harold Ramis would think or would
Right.
say because
Yeah.
they want to respect the families of Harold Ramis
Yeah.
and the friend and
I
the
mean, he's a
obviously-
comedic actor. Like he thinks
yeah,
so
he
quick
knows
on
he
his
thinks
feet.
quick, yeah, but they're such good friends with him, and I think they did
Yeah.
this. This is probably the most respectful send off for a dead actor, but
Yeah.
using a stand-in that I've ever seen in a movie.
And
Star Wars bullshit.
Yeah,
all that
that's what I'm
stuff
saying.
is bullshit. The only movies that I've seen that has done good with these dead famous actors is Halloween Kills and this movie right
Yep.
here.
100%.
And when they introduced him as a ghost, when I said emotional before, this is where it gets emotional. They introduced him as a ghost, helping his daughter defeat the enemy,
Yep.
holding the what was it, the gun or the blaster? How you
And
call it?
like, never mind that. They have the original Ghostbusters helping them out
At the
too.
same time,
Yeah,
I was about to
wow,
say
this
that
is going on,
exactly.
like-
All at the same time,
Oh, it
simultaneously.
was such an epic show. Like,
Yep.
I would say before, I don't know if you guys would agree with this, but like before the end fight scene, right, where they're driving back from the mountain, it was starting to, in my opinion, like it was starting to feel more like Ghostbusters Junior. Like I was like wondering, I'm like thinking in my head, like, okay, they're calling this Ghostbusters Afterlife. Why not just call it Ghostbusters Junior at this
Yeah,
point? Because that's what
interesting.
we're getting, like kind of like Ace Ventura Junior.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, God.
God, that movie
I-
was ass.
terrible movie,
Yeah.
but like I was like, okay,
Didn't need to watch it.
why-
Pictures and was enough.
Why did they call it Afterlife? When they get back to the house and they do the
Yeah.
final showdown,
You
I'm
know
like,
why.
okay,
Then you understand what Afterlife.
this makes sense.
Yeah.
Yep.
This is a proper send off. This is how you do it. Like they put their heart, they put their emotion. All the writing came together for that last sequence,
Oh, yeah.
and they nailed it.
And
They
when we
put
say
all
sequence,
the working parts.
Yeah.
And
we're not
blended
talking
them
a
together
few
perfectly.
minutes. We're talking a good portion.
Oh,
of
probably
what's left
like,
of the movie.
Probably like 20, maybe even 30 minutes
Yeah.
of the movie.
Yeah.
And that's what made it so special.
Epic fight
Because
scene.
Bill Murray says his snotty little
Yeah,
lines
yeah, oh,
like
yeah.
usual.
Bill Murray's character, Spangler,
Oh,
or
man.
whoever he is.
If you remember, yeah, like
The way he was
he's
before.
just womanizing.
He
it.
never
He's
changed.
still his character doesn't change.
His
character's
character-
still smart ass.
Yep. He did not change after all these years because you get an extra scene in the credits, mid credits,
Yeah.
of him and Sigourney Weaver. She
Yeah.
pops out of nowhere,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it's funny because she's testing him with these cards.
Yeah, the cards that he had
Yes.
in the first movie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
the shock test.
Yeah.
They brought it back. I was like, oh my god, they're doing that.
And you find out the obvious secret that Sigourney Weaver asks, "Did you paint over these cards?" And you can see.
Mark the cards. Yeah.
Yes, and he eventually
He
says yes.
He says no like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
And he finally says
Yeah.
yes.
So he finally conceives and he shocks him again.
Yeah.
Definitely good, revenge after that first
Oh,
movie.
no,
where
he
keeps
finally
shocking.
he finally admits, oh, I only shocked the guys.
Exactly.
Shock the
guys.
Oh, yeah.
Soon as the
Oh,
ghost of the main iconic actor comes in, and you got the 3 other members come in all at the same time, it's a huge nostalgia, emotional ride from there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It definitely made the whole movie very worth it. Very, very worth it by the end of the movie. And yeah, I will say something else though, like the way that this movie's how you say it, the soundtrack actually.
Oh yeah.
Well, it's like from start to finish, there was so many little bits and pieces where I felt like because the guy who created Ghostbusters, Dan Aykroyd, he was like a huge Ghost fan, but he's like a huge also pop culture kind of guy, and I could tell like there was like so many like there was a scene in the restaurant where you can hear like old fashioned blues music, and I kept on thinking in my head Blues Brothers.
Yeah.
Oh man, God,
Oh,
this guy.
that's true.
Yeah,
That makes
Blues
sense. I
Brothers,
didn't think of that.
Yeah.
He actually talked. I'm pretty sure he talked about that
Mhm.
on one of the late night shows. I think it was with Jimmy Fallon. Like
Yeah.
literally, the other he's like
Mhm.
listen to the music.
Listen to the music. He's
Yeah.
got blues music. Obviously, Dan Aykroyd.
Because
is
there's a
the guy.
hint
He's
from
got
him.
it.
Yeah.
Small hints. And that's the thing about
These
this
guys
movie.
are huge. Like
Yeah, they are, yeah.
You gotta put cues in
Yeah.
there
Mhm.
from their past.
Yeah,
because
they have to.
Yeah.
And speaking of the past,
Mhm.
don't get me started with...
most of their budget was probably
That's-
those guys.
Yeah.
Right,
for that
literally.
last scene.
Don't get me started. When we talk about the past, there's another credit scene.
Oh,
and
yeah.
we're talking after
Oh
the
my
full credits.
Oh
God.
yeah, the second one.
And
Yeah,
me
I mean, obviously, you
personally-
guys are listening to this, so you know what we're talking about. But
Mhm.
if you don't, like, man, go see the movie again and stay for the after credits.
Yes.
That the scene is
So
phenomenal.
what I'm
We'll
about to
start talking
say
about
is
it now.
super spoilers.
Yeah.
We're in
So-
spoilers, so.
Yeah, we're way in the spoiler zone.
Mhm.
The one of the original members is talking about the past to our favorite female phone girl from the original Ghostbusters.
Mhm.
And as he's talking,
I love that they brought her
it's
back
a
too.
mixture of narrating. And when I say narrating, you see this member walking in, opening a door,
Yeah.
in this old abandoned building, and as the camera angle goes backwards, bam.
It's the original building.
Yep.
The original building, it was
Yeah.
Winston, because they mentioned in the Winston made a fortune, so he bought the building. So
Yeah.
we're definitely going to have like a more franchise. If this movie does well,
They're bringing it back.
My
100%.
theory is they're going to make like a larger ghost core.
Yeah.
and
Because
actually
his
more.
line was perfect.
Mhm.
Right before it ended. Before the credit scene ended, he says, he will always be a Ghostbuster.
Yeah.
And that was beautiful.
Very
So I don't know
beautiful.
if you guys have heard about this, but like Sony rumored might be selling their company, like the majority of their company off to like Apple or Disney.
Really?
Essentially.
Disney, I heard. I haven't heard of Apple.
Apple's one of the potential buyers.
Jeez.
What I'm thinking, what would make the most sense to me is if they did an Apple Plus or Disney Plus series focused on the older members of the Ghostbusters and
Interesting.
seeing them go at it again in
That would be
New York.
interesting.
I wouldn't mind that actually.
Like do a series on it. I
Like
would,
another real, like the real
Yeah.
Ghostbusters, but live action.
I'd be open
Right.
to it as a movie, but I personally think it'd be more fun to do a series, like kind of like they did like Ash versus the Evil Dead. They made Ash.
Oh yeah,
That's
yeah,
true.
that's
kind of
what
like
they did.
that. I think it kind of give off those vibes.
I think it could work. Yeah.
Well, the way it seems though, they just really leave it that we got a new beginning of a generation of
Yeah.
Ghostbusters.
Mm-hmm,
They definitely leave it open for that.
Oh
like,
yeah, definitely.
the
So,
possibilities never end.
oh yeah, for new Ghostbusters.
There's even a new logo.
Yeah.
So
Oh, yeah,
pay
by
attention
the end.
after the credits, or if
Yeah.
you're listening or not, I don't care.
Yeah.
That end credit scene when everything's over, blackout and the new logo,
Mhm.
and it's funny.
Oh yeah.
Oh, the other thing. Did you guys know? Like, obviously, we had the little puff guys in
Oh,
Walmart.
yeah.
I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
But did you guys notice while they're like rampaging through the town,
Mm-hmm.
there was a poster on one of the walls. I don't remember if it was a poster or if it was painted on the
Stay
wall.
puffed.
The
Oh,
yes,
yes,
yes, yes.
I saw
giant
that.
puff guy.
Yeah, me and
Yeah,
JP
I saw
looked
that.
at each other.
I saw that.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, right there.
That.
It's
I
the
just had to
puff
throw
guy,
that-
yo.
Yeah.
I
He
thought
was. It was a
that
paint.
was-
It was painted on the brick wall.
Yeah. Okay.
He was
I couldn't remember
pointing
if it
at.
was painted or if it
Yeah.
was if it was
Yeah.
a poster. I just remember it was on the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was there.
Oh my god,
That
that,
was pretty good.
whoever
Another
decided
touch.
to put that in there.
Another detail touch,
That
like the
was
Twinkie.
perfect. Yeah, the Twinkie.
Oh, yeah, the
The
Twinkie.
Twinkie,
Yeah.
the crunch, the wrapper, the Crunch Bar, like
Oh,
yeah,
it's
the
like
Crunch
they
Bar.
just
Those
did
small
Yeah.
things were beautiful.
As
I
if
think it's
like-
been in there since the
Ex-
80s.
Right?
Man, it's been there for a while.
like bro, like try to sell that chocolate bar, man.
Right.
That thing
Telling
melts
you,
or something.
Them
Yeah.
fucking stocks on Crunch,
Yeah.
fucking all these small things are
Gonna go
going
through
up.
the roof.
Especially,
Oh,
Oh,
time
yeah.
to invest in some Crunch stocks.
right?
Crunch stock's gonna go up. Walmart stock's gonna go up.
No, don't get me
Stay
started with
posted.
Walmart. Walmart just literally market itself
Oh god.
in a unique way.
Okay.
that was
And
that was-
Baskin Robbins
Yeah.
oh the
That-
Baskin
oh,
Robbins thing
was extra.
perfect. So like I'm sure you remember Ant-Man.
Ant-Man.
Yeah.
He worked at Baskin Robbins.
Oh, yeah,
Paul
yeah.
Rudd works at Baskin Robbins. So of course the first thing he goes to when he's in Walmart, just so casually, he's like, "Oh, cool! I'm gonna just get some Baskin Robbins
Yep.
frozen ice cream."
Before the mayhem truly begins.
Yeah.
It's like Ant-Man took a break and
Yeah,
went and
yeah.
did this side science stuff for a little bit.
You know, it's funny because Paul Rudd's character through the whole Walmart scene reminds me of the geeky guy that was with the phone girl from the original.
Yeah, Louis
Ghostbusters.
Tully.
That's really the vibe I was getting from him. Like, because in the end, he also becomes the hound monster guardian thing. Yeah.
I know.
So it's kind of funny.
I know. That's what they did in this movie. They actually took there are some things in this movie that, well, I will have to say that are pretty bad in my opinion. They do reference too much of the first movie in this film.
I agree.
But, almost to
actually.
the point to that, it's not almost only original, where it's just like paying so much homage to the first movie. And while the 2016 version kind of did the same thing, and this one, like some certain beats to the plots and the scenes, they have to like reference the first movie like almost over and over again.
I truly like that. It seemed like they listened to the fans this time around.
Oh, they did.
Yeah.
Because they know the fans were hurt with 2016.
Mm-hmm.
The fans weren't really cool with that movie.
No.
Most of them disowned the fact that was a Ghostbusters movie.
It was
It
just
gained
basically
a lot
the first
of-
movie.
It gained a lot of other fans, but it was a new It had nothing to do with the original Ghostbusters.
No,
it was their own.
It was literally just another
origin story.
Just
Ghostbusters
Ghostbusters 1, but females. That's it. That's what it was.
Like they took the idea of the SNL thing from back in the day and just did it with females this time around.
Which I'm not against to.
No.
I mean, having an SNL character do this, then they can do that. That's fine.
Right.
But but with this movie, they kind of, I wouldn't say do the same thing. No, they don't do the same thing. But they do reference like the major plots in the movie, like the Walmart scene. That's the reference to the Louis Tully scene in the apartment when he was running away. And but the way they do it in Afterlife is like they had an original plot.
Yep.
That's what they did. In Ghostbusters 2016, there was no original plot. They
it's
literally
just
took the script of the first one, put in SNL characters, and that's what they did.
Yep.
And that's maybe the only downside for Afterlife. It's not original, but in my opinion, that's probably worth it. That has to be needed. So that way the future movies can be
like that.
Yeah, but so that way the future movies can be more original.
Yep.
So that way they can have more original ideas and stuff.
And this is what I meant when I said earlier in the beginning that you take away the nostalgia in this movie just for a few seconds, you get that. You still get a movie that stands on its own legs. This is exactly what I meant earlier. And so, it still holds on its own.
They figured out a way to give it legs again.
Oh, yeah.
Literally. I think that was important. Because in order, obviously, to have a house, you have to first build the structure for it.
The foundation, the bones, like they say. Yeah.
So they got the legs going, and let's just see, from here, like what they decided to do.
I will find it odd in the movie if I mean, it was great to have all three come there, but how did they get there?
Yeah, that's the question I was asking.
So if you remember, no, they did it. Like,
I remember they talked to him on the phone.
She's talking to him on the phone.
Yeah.
He mentioned where he moved to. He knew where he moved to. So the second she mentioned that, she's his granddaughter and the phone disconnected.
Gets cut off.
Yeah, he probably got worried.
But they're in New York and they're in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
So but what was that like?
It was like that was a few days later.
That was a few days later.
Yeah.
I thought that was on the same
night. Since the jail scene.
I thought the jail scene was just one day after.
No, it was maybe one. But yeah, you could.
I think it was a whole day.
A whole day.
Yeah, it was just one whole day after another day.
So
that's it.
Okay, so a whole day that
it was like a
because it was the beginning of the evening.
So a whole day for Ray to call Peter and call Egon. I mean not Egon. Winston.
I mean they could have flown. They could have flown there and then met and got a car too.
Because they all hate Egon.
Yeah.
Like, yo, hate Egon. Well, mostly the guy that they spoke on.
Egon was dead at that point, and they were mostly worried that these.
Oh
kids
yeah, you're right. They talked to him because he told them they didn't know he was dead because he died last week or something.
He died last week.
So they mentioned to them.
My guess, and that would be kind of cool if they like put that into this. Like if they do a series, if they make that like where they started.
I think they're gonna explore that for anything else.
How they meet up and go back into it.
I'm not saying that scene was bad. It's definitely great for Ghostbusters fans.
I love it. It's just
I'm saying like some critics will be probably thinking like how they get there or like they just popped out of nowhere without a reason at all. Like, I mean, yes, Ghostbusters fans like us will like it.
That's the fun of movie magic, in my opinion.
Little mystery.
I absolutely and you guys will learn this the more we talk. I hate exposition scenes. Absolutely hate them. If we could get rid of them completely, I'd be all for it. But sometimes they're important. I like that they didn't do any exposition on it. They just
not over explaining things.
They told them the location,
and that was enough.
They cut off the conversation. You could tell he was worried on the other end, and that was all it took between that exchange of conversation and where they met up. I thought, personally, I can see where you're coming from on that. I liked it.
I liked it too. I
liked how they did it.
Because, ironically enough, it was also yet a funny moment.
True. Yeah.
Because when they showed up, that's when it started getting funny between the final acts.
Because you hear him say, "Hey, flat top."
Literally, yes, you know exactly. Hey, flat top.
Yeah. The moment you said that, I was like, it's Peter.
The gang
an
back.
asshole again.
Right.
He doesn't give a shit all the time.
And it was just so much fun from there.
Yeah, it was.
It's like you're just watching Ghostbusters like old times.
And I guess from stopping right here, we can say our final thought each and conclude it. Start with JP.
Okay, final thoughts. Like a very full spoiler. Well, this movie is definitely a love letter to Harold Ramis. and it's a movie for the Ghostbusters fans.
Yeah.
Yes, there are some plots in the movie where it felt maybe a bit rushed, and some of them felt like unneeded. The J.K. Simmons one, you could literally just cut that out in the movie and wouldn't bat an eye.
He was probably on the set, like
Probably just for like a 2 seconds,
Yeah.
and like you said, he's probably just there because of the next Spider-Man movie.
I think
because both
I
of them.
swear, like we
That's
had this
true.
conversation earlier, so you
Yeah.
guys weren't a part of this, but
Mhm.
like I wouldn't be surprised if he was filming scenes for Spider-Man, and they happened to be filming Ghostbusters on the same day, and they just shot him the offer. Hey, do you want to be in a cameo appearance in Ghostbusters for like a 1-day shoot? I'm sure he would have
Yeah,
been
you
all
probably said,
for
yeah,
it.
they're probably on the same
He's already
studio.
on the Sony lot. Why
Yeah,
not?
both owned by Sony, so yeah. But yeah, like I said, like I said in the non-spoiler discussion, my I guess I don't know my so far, because my reviews are very like up in the air on day one. Sometimes it could go up in the next day, sometimes it will go down the next day. But right now, it still stands as a 4 out of 5 stars.
All right, RJ.
Yeah, I'm with them on that.
Mhm.
I loved what they did. I thought it was perfect send up for the fans. The jokes, the humor, it was all there with the emotion. They brought back the emotion with it this time that Ghostbusters 2, in my opinion, lacked. They brought that full effect this time around. Really got you feeling for the family. Really got you emotionally invested with these characters. Luckily, they didn't kill anybody off, but I feel like if they did, there would have been like some tears felt for it, because
Yes.
that
Oh yeah, the final scene, the
yeah.
final 10 minutes with Harold Ramis,
Very
Egon's
emotional.
ghost,
Was touching.
very emotional
Yeah.
and very good and very touching.
I gotta say, I think they did a great job getting the feel of the original Ghostbusters for this, and I stick with it. I think this was a great 4 out of 5.
Mm-hmm.
And then with me, before, like I said, 5 stars, because it's just me. And reason behind it is that I really like the emotional aspect combined with the plot. It blended very nicely, and we got introduced to a new generation of Ghostbusters. And yeah, like the last few moments, the final act was emotional, intense, and seeing the nostalgia mixed with the original cast members popping here and there when you least expect it. That's another thing you don't see coming when these old familiar faces come in and out. It was really well done. And my two favorite characters were the lead female and one character named Broadcast. Ironically enough.
Podcast.
And he
man.
We didn't even
was
talk about
a
it.
Oh, yeah, we just
delight.
He reminded me.
Delights.
Yeah.
Ghostbusters.
Was it just me, or did he give off major Freddy from iCarly vibes?
Oh, you did.
I didn't think of that.
Because
He
like,
does.
oh my god, like, and I loved it. I thought it was perfect, but
Mhm.
oh my god, like if they did a reboot of iCarly
Mhm.
of them young again,
Yeah.
like
Have that kid become like, I don't know,
Or
the next
like-
Freddy or something.
I don't know, like if they for some reason did like a biography on iCarly, like hire that kid.
Yeah.
This
to be
kid
Freddy. He'd
was
be
young. You can tell that he's he's really young kid, and his acting chops were phenomenal.
Oh yeah.
So
and funny. The
yeah,
best,
he was funny.
The scene stealer in the
His-
entire film.
Yeah.
The
Yes.
slapstick was fast.
Even
Oh,
though
yeah.
Paul
Quick with
Rudd
it.
is awesome,
Yeah.
Paul Rudd and this kid Broadcast
Oh yeah.
were the best comedy relief.
Podcast
Yeah.
was awesome.
And a
And-
big ironic, 'cause since we were making this movie for a podcast,
Yeah.
there was a character
Yes.
named Podcast
Yeah.
in this film.
We all looked at each other in the movie
Like,
theater like,
this
oh
is the
my
moment.
gosh.
Yeah.
This is
the irony. It
this
was
is-
meant to be.
This is speaking to us.
It
Yeah,
was.
It was speaking to us. This
The movie was speaking.
Yeah.
Yes, from the beyond.
Because we've been talking about doing a podcast now for like
Quite a while.
Yeah.
I want to say at least 2 months now. Like we mentioned it like 2 months ago, then we really got into talking
Yeah.
about it a
Mhm.
few weeks back with Eternals. So it's cool just like getting this into
Yeah.
fruition.
Oh yeah.
Because this movie, we all said the word too. The word special.
Mhm.
We all came out of that theater saying special, and then when we talked about making this to a broadcast, we were thinking, okay, fuck it.
Mhm.
This movie is going to be a big deal as our first episode.
Mhm.
So me saying the rest of my final thought, 5 stars,
Mhm.
emotional, it was a special kind of movie, and I highly recommend you go watch it. Try to watch it Dolby if you can.
Oh,
Oh,
Dolby.
100%.
100%
Because
Dolby,
the action
yeah.
sequences, the big moments, you actually feel it.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Huge time.
like our seats when the earthquakes were happening. Well, not earthquakes, but
Yeah.
we can. I'm just gonna refer
Tremors.
to them as
Yeah.
tremors, whatever you
Yeah.
want to call
Earthquakes too. So.
them. Like whenever those were happening, the seats would vibrate. Whenever,
Oh
whenever the
blasters
blasters were going
Yeah.
off. That's what I wanted to
Yeah.
say. Like the sound, the bass was making the seats just like vibrate, and like where sometimes that could be distracting. I felt with this, like I felt like I was in the action sequences, like I was there.
Like you were in the
that
Ghostbusters
moment.
car.
Like,
That's what I felt.
I
Yeah.
was like when she kicked back that lever.
Oh, that's
and
my
shot
favorite
out the side
scene.
in the gunner seat.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Like
sound. Yeah.
the sound that came with that, it felt like I was getting punched in the gut, and I loved it.
Oh yeah. Sound effects also amazing on this film.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So well done.
So well done.
Sony really hit it out of the park with this one.
Definitely. Good practical effects, good visual effects, a good solid Ghostbusters story from start to finish. So definitely, if you're a Ghostbusters fan, you gotta watch it then.
Yeah.
Yep.
Without a doubt, you guys gotta see it.
You won't be disappointed like 2016.
I mean,
You will
you're
like
you're
it.
on the spoiler part of the review, so I'm gonna just assume you already have seen it. But if you
Mm-hmm.
haven't and you stuck around for the spoiler part of the review, go watch this movie, guys.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, if our words haven't convinced you yet, just please trust us.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, just go watch
Definitely
it.
support this film.
Yeah. All right, y'all.
Support this movie so more movies like this can happen.
There you go.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's the whole point of this broadcast, honestly. We're trying to make it to the point where, like, you don't listen to a stupid website
Mhm.
or these high-paid critics
Yeah.
to tell you otherwise.
We're
No.
just average guys.
Yeah,
Literally
like,
average.
Literally average guys. I don't think we're like running on some sort of critics site or
No.
whatever. We're just average Joes who loves movies.
Yep.
We pay for showings, and then sometimes we go to these early screenings that are free.
Mm-hmm.
That just doesn't define who we are. No, it just defines. It just says in the broadcast here that we're average guys, like we just said here,
Yeah.
and we give you our 2 cents and our thoughts about it, and then that's it. That's the whole point of this.
Pretty much.
We're not here to show our ego here.
No,
You know, it's here to have fun.
Yeah, we just.
So tune in for the next episode. We hope everybody enjoyed it,
Mhm.
and this is Cinema Times signing off.
Signing off.
The
So
cinema time.
we'll see you all next time. Okay.
Toodaloo.
Catch you later.
Bye.